Hi, my name's Denise Scott and I work for Space 2 and I run the Threading Tales group. At the moment we're working on a project that is inspired by a lady artist called Jelena. She's Portuguese and she works making amazing sculptures out of things you would find in a home. So some of them are made of saucepans and some of them are made of knives and forks, but the ones that we really loved were ones that she'd been making out of fabrics. There's a lot of crocheting and there's a lot of tassels, as you will see from the photo, and we just loved all the bright colours. So as a group we decided we would like to make one of these large sculptures. It won't be the same as the one that you've seen. It will be one that we've made and everybody is contributing a bit towards it. And the beauty of it is because it is going to just grow, we don't even know what it's going to look like now, but all we know is it's going to be very colourful and very beautiful, and we'd like you to send us some things to join in with the project. So the next thing we're going to do is make one of these lovely Bauble Pom Pom things, and those all look lovely hanging down from our sculpture. I'm hoping that we can get lots of those too, because if you can imagine on one of those large sculptures, everything's got lots of it. So Jelena has all these long tassels and we're going to have long threads with all of these hanging down and it'll look amazing. This is how I've decorated this one, but you can do yours anyhow you like. I'll show you how I did it basically. First of all, I've got one of these balls that you get in a children's ball pool. They're nice and light, and the reason why we're trying to use lots of really lightweight things is so that we don't have so much problem trying to hang the piece in the first place. We're going to pull all the fabric over the ball as neatly as we can, and then we're going to turn it up the other way and we're going to use a thread to tie it all together. And here's my thread, sorry, excuse me. I'm just going to tie it together. I've put one of my big knots on the back and then I'm just going to wind it round and make sure that everything's all in. That bit's trying to escape just there, so I'm just going to pull it back in, because you don't want any loose ends, you just want it all nicely contained so it doesn't come apart. That's it. I think we're going to be all right this time. I think it's caught in everywhere and it'll look quite nice once we've decorated it. I'm going to just tie it off by putting the thread through a few times and making a knot. I'm going to go through the threads, through the loop, give it a pull, through the threads, through the material, back through a loop and give it a pull. Just to make it so it doesn't come apart. We are going to cover it up a bit in a minute anyway, but it's just so that you can work with it. Okay, there we have it. So now you've got this piece covered, the next thing you want to do is just to find something just to cover this bit of fabric. You can use sewing thread. Sewing thread's perfectly fine. If you don't want to use sewing thread, you can use wool or you can use embroidery threads. On this one, I've got a bit of embroidery thread and a bit of wool. I think for this one, we'll have a little bit of wool. And a bit of this thread, we'll do both. So just wrap it round as tightly as you can. Try and catch that end in so that it's not showing. And just go around a few times. That's it. We've got an end. So because we've got an end, we'll have to sew it through. So you just need a needle and you just need to thread it up. Come through, that's it, gotcha. Oh no, a bit more, that's it. And then you can just sew it in and that will stop it from coming apart. And then if you take it off up to the top, there, and leave that, I'll have something to tie it all on with. If you forget, don't worry, I'll just put some more in, and then you just cut off this end. There we are. We've got that bit. As you can see, I've put other colours in, and if you want to put other colours in, you can wind other colours in there too. And it will just look even more exciting. On this one, I've sewn a tassel on the end. So we can sew our tassel on the end there. It can either have a bead or it can be a tassel without a bead. This one's without a bead. Do exactly how you like it. It will be beautiful. And I'd like to see them all slightly different. And the thing that's going to make them the same is the fact that they're all very colourful. You'll also see that I've decorated this. I've got some sequins. They're not the same. They're all different. But I've tried to make it so that there's blue ones and they're all different sizes. And then there's pink ones, just so that it's got a bit of pattern to it. But if they were all just random ones, it would also be beautiful. Then the next thing I've done is I've done some embroidery on this. And the embroidery is just quite simple, and it stitches just a running stitch. And a running stitch, you just need to get yourself some thread, put yourself a nice big knot in the end so you don't lose your sewing when you pull it through, and thread up your needle. The beauty of doing this as well is that as you stitch around it, you're going to help to keep all of these little folds in, so it'll look more beautiful. And I'm just going to go underneath a fold and hide my knot. So there's a little fold, I'll go underneath that one. That's the way it's wanting to go because I sew this way. And give it a pull through. And then I'm just going to go in and out. In and out. The stitches don't even actually need to be even. If you're very neat, you'll make yours lovely and even. Mine will probably be a little bit wonky. Try not to get caught on there. Because it has. Come over this side. That's it. It'll be easier when you get away from this top bit. In and out. In and out. You can make random marks around, or you can just go round in circles, or you could make a spiral going down. Just go crazy. Make up your own pattern. I think for this one, I'm going to make it a spiral. But you'll see as we're going along, we'll end up just pulling the fabric in around the ball, which will help to make it more circular. No, spherical, wrong word. So yeah, it'll help to make it more ball shaped and neater. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it. So on this one, I'm just going to keep on going all the way down to the bottom, I think. Spiral starting there, and I've just gone all the way round and round and round to the bottom. And there's all these running stitches, and these running stitches are great for catching another thread in, and then you can make it even brighter than it is. Again though, you'll want to hide the beginning of it. So you might want to tie a little knot, wet your finger, wrap it around a few times, and then just slip it and turn it at the same time and pull. And you probably end up with a bigger knot. That one didn't work, try again. That's it, this one's going to work, I can feel it. There, nice knot. Unlikely to come undone. If you think it's going to come undone, just do it again and keep on pulling more knots on. There. And then you're going to try and hide that underneath some fabric. Okay, then we're going to hide that one. Where's the beginning? Oh, there's the beginning. We're going to hide that in there. Perfect. There. And pull it through. Just tuck that in. We can always fiddle with it later, but it's colourful and that's the main thing. So we're going to go in and out and just decorate this this stitch. Okay. In the first one, pull it all the way through. And then, so that one's underneath and this one's going to come down from the top. Just, whoops, don't get a knot, don't go too far, so otherwise you won't be able to get it out. Good job I spotted that. That was just about to be a disaster, wasn't it? Give it a pull, try and avoid the top. Like I say, once you get beyond that, it's not too bad. It's at the beginning, it's a bit tricky. Then up from underneath, that one over the top, this one's going to come from underneath and pull it through. Just take your time, do it slowly, and then you're less likely to get a knot. From the top, because that one was from underneath, try not to catch the other ones in. Got my scissors, that's it. Let it pull, and then just keep going from under. From on top. And these would make a lovely Christmas decoration later in the year if you want to. If you get really into doing it, you could make these for presents for people. I quite often make people Christmas decorations. They like it because every time they get their tree out every year, they think of you, which is rather nice, really. And that's another one. There. That's under. And then back down. Okay, so now I've gone in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way round. It looks quite pretty right now, but if you want it to get even more exciting, get yourself yet another colour, and then you can go the opposite way, which I'll just show you what it looks like. You don't have to, you can do your own thing. If you know how to do embroidery stitches, you can do whatever embroidery stitches you want to do. If you don't know how to do embroidery stitches and you just want to do crazy sewing all over it, that would look beautiful too. I'm just going to put a knot in and get rid of this bit because it's getting stuck on. That's it. And I'll show you how I do the next one. So if you're wanting to do it like this, you can pull through. Like I say, at the beginning it's a bit tricky because everything gets sort of tangled together, but once you get down it's quite easy. So this time you went under and then you went over, so we are going to go the opposite way. Just be careful you're not catching anything in, and then don't pull it too hard, leave a little bit so that you've got a little loop there and it'll look even nicer. Let's just push it through. That's it. So can you see it looks like a chain now? So you've got your running stitch running along the middle, and then you've got these ones just looping in and out. One way and the other one the opposite way. And it just looks lovely. It's quite hard to see the yellow stitching. I mean, you could have done it in something thicker, maybe an embroidery thread, or even in a wool. The running stitches could have been in something brighter, but this is lovely. I'm liking this. So just use your imagination, have a go at doing whatever you like. You could put another little stitch of a different colour in here if you wanted to as well, or you could put a bead there, or you could put beads or things in between. But just use your imagination and go wild. Go wild with lots of colours and exciting decoration. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what people bring for us. So I've now gone in and out, and then under and over, all the way around in my spiral, all the way to the bottom. And what we're going to do now is add one of the tassels that we made earlier, and just sew that on as well, and then it will hang from the bottom. Just need to pull it through, and that is what it's going to look like when it comes to me. And then I will just use this thread to add it to our huge sculpture. It doesn't have to have a bead on. This one's got a bead on, so I haven't finished tying it off. But this one hasn't got a bead on. It's just one of these, but without a bead. And I've just added a sequin instead. It also looks quite pretty and a little different, which is nice. So it's the same but different. And all together, it will look cohesive, but it will also look individual, like lots of people have made it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you make. Okay, thank you.